Game started.
Rolf from Puerto Rico? No, Chile. All right, let's try e4. I have a record of 8 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw against Rolf. So, okay, an okay performance. Better than the rating difference would indicate, at least. So, he's playing the French defense, maybe, or has he got some other idea? Yeah, this is a different, a different thing. I forget what it's called. I've looked it up before. Let's see. I think f4 is not good because the queen check. So let's play c4. Get those 3 pawns in the center, and then get the pieces out. Knights on c3 and f3, and the bishops on maybe f4, and see what he does with his pawns. And I don't want to push ahead anymore until I figure out where he's trying to put his pieces. I mean, I could push and try and determine the structure in the center, but I'll wait for a moment when hopefully it's more favorable. Yeah, so he's attacking the e-pawn. I need to defend it, but I wanted to play knight c3 anyway. And now maybe bishop d3 and castle, and plan to push ahead with the e-pawn and open up this diagonal. And when he develops his kingside pieces first, it may be indicating he plans to castle kingside. Yeah, there he goes. So I'll just set up for a kingside attack. Maybe bishop c2, queen d3, and pawn to bishop c2, queen d3, pawn to e5, and checkmate. He's wasted quite a lot of time. First of all, with his pawn moves that weren't necessary. This one in particular, h6, was not a necessary move, and king to h8 wasn't especially appealing either. He can stop all of this right now by playing e5, yeah. And he does. So he was paying attention. Let's open that line. I still think opening should favor my position a little bit. I'm a little more advanced, but I don't think I have much of an advantage here anymore. Actually, when he correctly blocks that diagonal, it kind of kills the attack, and I'll have to rearrange my pieces. So I'm going to lose some time. I will lose time doing that. Let's see. I don't need to move the queen right away. Maybe I should move the bishop first. Bishop e3, queen d2. A sacrifice here. Queen takes with check. King goes, or knight goes. So it's 2 pieces. Bishop is gone. This bishop is blocked. The knight's available. I would say that's not such a likely looking attack. There is a hole in my position here. Yeah, maybe I should just kind of try and play this a little more positionally. So I've got control of the d5 square with my pawns, and he has control of the d4 square. But he has no piece to put there right away. It'll take a while for him to maneuver the knights around to get to that. So I can put a knight there. He can play c6 and chase it away. But if I do it at the right moment, maybe he will exchange it rather than chase it, in which case I'll get a strong pawn on d5. Okay, so he's going after the bishop. That's a good bishop. Let's keep it. And I think I can, in a moment, he keeps harassing my pieces here. I think I can attack his knight with the move h3, get it to go back. And my e-pawn here, I think it's adequately defended. I'm going to put a rook on the d-file opposite his queen. See how he reacts to that. And I still have this move knight to d5 at some point because he hasn't played c6. I also have b5 maybe, chasing this knight away. But I think I would start with rook a to d1 because there's an immediate threat of taking here with the tempo on the queen and winning a pawn, and then maybe h3, kicking the knight back. I guess those could be played in either order. Okay, Rolf is thinking. Okay, he's maneuvering his knight, and now the rook f to d8 is not a forceful move in this situation because that's blocked, so there's no threat. So just chase the knight back. I guess I still want to play the rook here. Yeah, I wonder if he was worried about defending his e-pawn, because the knight here was going to get kicked, and the knight here was not defending the e-pawn. So when he dropped it back, it helped. It helped on that defense. It helped with that defense. Right here, I could play knight to d5, and maybe that's the logical way to play. The other idea here is, okay, he's going to leave it there. I will leave it there too. I can put a knight on f5, which is often a good square. Knight to, can I put a knight on f5? I should phrase that as a question. Knight to h4 is my route there. Knight to h4. And then he has a tempo move because the bishop is hitting the knight. So knight h4, knight takes d, knight takes e4. I have queen takes e4 defending my knight. And he has moves to harass my queen, like pawn to f4. Yeah, so it doesn't work. It does not work. Yeah, knight h4, knight takes, queen takes, pawn to f4, my queen moves, then he takes with the bishop. Actually, it does work. I was wondering. there's a threat on this diagonal. So after knight takes, queen takes, I'm defending my knight and I'm threatening here. Oh no, he still has f5 meeting both threats. Okay. So this may be a pawn sacrifice. He didn't play it. So I think he could have gotten away with taking knight takes e4. Playing knight takes e4. But now I'm getting my knight to f5. Knight f5, queen h5, and maybe a sacrifice on h6. I've got a queen and a bishop looking at that square. And a knight, queen, bishop, and knight all looking at h6. He could just trade off my knight, but he would have to give up a good light squared bishop there to do that. Maybe he should, though. Okay, he doesn't. He brings his king there. I can't play queen to h6. The knight's guarding that square. I can play f4 here. Pawn takes, and this is defended by a queen and a queen and a bishop, and it's attacked by a knight and a queen, so it's defended. Let's see, there is a check here with the bishop. Bishop b6, king goes there maybe. there. With his king over here on the H file, this F-pawn is a bit loose too, and maybe ideas to go after that as well. Okay, so we're taking here. Let's see how he takes back. Bishop or queen. He takes with the bishop, hitting the B pawn. So I'll move that. I have dark squared weaknesses over here. I have to be careful, but I can play bishop to F4. This might turn into not very much. The queen here would be good to threaten the G7 square. Can't go to here because of his knight. Okay, he decided to take. Oh no. This is a tactic, so I should be careful. If I take with the pawn, and then he can play bishop to H2 check, and my queen is not defended here.
Announcement.
So I have to take with the rook, which is not really what I intended. Maybe it's not so bad, but I almost walked into that one. Almost fell for that one. Yeah, so rook back, maybe I can double on the e-file. He's given up his light squared bishop now, so I can put my pieces on light squared and not have them skewered by his dark squared bishop. So I have dark squared weaknesses, but I can play on the light squares. Doubling on the f-file. Also queen e3 threatening h4 might be an idea too. Queen e3 threatening h6 might be interesting. Okay, so the knight goes there, defends h6, and is this defended? Yeah, it's defended by the queen. Okay, let's see if he wants to keep his dark squared bishop. Yeah, so he decides to. Okay, I'm going to push this pawn forward. Maybe that's premature. Let's go here first. No, I can't go there first because he will skewer me. Let's move my king off of the dark squares. Yeah, maybe I need to play pawn to e5 at some point. I was worried about him playing like f6 to attack or undermine the pawn because it's pinned as long as my queen is here. That's why I was thinking moving the queen first. But I have to push the pawn first because I don't want his bishop coming to d4. So I push the pawn and then I can play queen f2, and then I've got pressure on the f-pawn here. And if he plays f6, let's see, think about this. e5, f6. He plays it now. Since he played it now, I can push immediately. Not really, I can't really do that. Let's triple. Maybe queen Yeah, pawn to e5 and queen to g3 would coordinate against g6 there. That would be interesting. Pawn to e5 first. He just takes it. So queen to g6 first. He plays he plays that. I wonder, you know, this is funny, but maybe his rook is going to run out of places to stay. It only has one square it can go to. He can block with the knight. But I'm thinking if I can get this move in, this might be good. He can't really take, right? Rook takes. Rook is a problem. If he pushes, I take it. I thought he couldn't take. Well, he's going to win the bishop. Maybe that's good enough. Take the rook. He takes the bishop, yeah. So it's a exchange sack. And I also have some threats on the light squares here, don't I? So queen somewhere. How are we on time? Oh, he's low on time. Okay, did I overlook something? He's got a rook and 3 pieces. I have 2 rooks and 1 rook and 2 pieces. Okay, so I think I'm still okay here. What I was thinking was, isn't queen here a mate threat? And isn't it hard for him to defend that? He can give up another exchange here. And queen, yeah, the queen defends the bishop and threatens mate. He can't block with the bishop or the knight. Can't defend that square with the knight. He can't move the king. So I think his only move is to take my bishop. And then I think, well, being up 2 exchanges is usually pretty good. He has a passed pawn. So it may not be totally simple, but maybe I can just kind of...
Black resigns.
Yeah, he's low on time on top of everything. Okay, so interesting game. I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.